Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Steven here, Northwest Small Batch Brewing. It's going to be a brew talk today and a short one at that. I saw Mr. Alex the Beer Master drinking this the other night, and I had one left in the fridge. I wasn't saving it for anything special, but when I saw him drinking it, I thought, gosh, that sounds good. This is the Firestone Walker Parabolita. Salted caramel stout. What's funny is I've talked to people before who like, oh, that sounds terrible. I can see why you would think that would sound terrible, but it's actually really, really good. The problem is it's seasonal. They don't have it all year round, and I don't think you can probably get it anymore. And it's hard to find in certain areas. In fact, Firestone Walker is getting really hard to find, period. Anyway, cheers and welcome. So I want to talk today about something I'm going to try, maybe on my next beer coming down the line. And that is, before I get into that, I mean, you saw the thumbnails, you already know the title, but when you are doing your boil, right, you have different spots in the boil, different times during the boil that you're adding your hops, right? For different reasons, right? Traditionally, you add a 60-minute addition at the very beginning that's going to go for the full 60 minutes, and that's your bittering hop, right? And the reason is because when you heat up the hops, they go through this biotransformation where they start creating bitterness, and it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to start getting that bitterness. So most of your bitterness that you kind of plan on for your beer is coming from that, hop that's sitting in there the whole boil. Then a lot of times you'll have additional hops later on. Like you may have a 30-minute addition, which they traditionally, I don't see this that often anymore, but the 30-minute traditionally was the flavoring hop. So you would add a hop for a flavor at 30 minutes. The problem is, even 30 minutes, you're not really getting flavor. It's just more bittering. Like it's not going to pull much flavor. And then you have your we call it your 10-minute edition, your 15-minute edition. Some people even do a 5-minute edition. Somewhere in the last 15 minutes or so, people will oftentimes add hops, and they call those the aroma hops. The idea being if you put them in right at the end, you'll be able to retain some of the aroma. And there's two reasons why it doesn't work, really. One is that, again, it does not take very long for the heat to isomerize the hops and start getting them bitter. They don't hold on to the aroma and flavor for very long when you heat them up. So the other issue is that you need to cool down your beer very quickly if you want to retain that aroma, right? And some of us, like myself, just do a no chill, and so that's not going to work anyway. So those are the traditional ways to add hops, right? Your bittering, your flavoring, and your aroma at different periods. However, the argument is if you're not really retaining any flavor from the flavor hops that you're putting in like at 30 minutes, and if you're not really retaining much of the aroma hops at the end, at the last 5-10 minutes, then why are we bothering to put hops in at different times? And so there's an argument to be made for something called a single boil addition, which is basically your bittering hop, your very first one, right? You put in your bittering hop for 60 minutes, right? You get your bittering, and you calculate your entire recipe's bitterness on that 60-minute addition. And then to add aroma / flavor, you can either do like a late addition, right? Wait until the boil is done, you turn off the heat. Sometimes you can even give it like 20 minutes and then throw in some hops. That's a late addition. And let those hops sit in there for, 10, 15 minutes. That will give you some of the flavoring without heating them up too much, right? To the point where you're going to lose a lot of flavor. And then, of course, dry hop, right? Instead of putting all those aroma hops in during the boil, even in the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes, dry hop with them. You're going to get a lot more flavor and aroma and whatnot from dry hopping than you are going to be from putting them into the hot wort. So I think I'm going to try that on my next beer. I'm trying to think what my next beer is. Oh, no. Actually, I'm not. Well, we'll see. I'm not going to tell you what I'm making next because I've made it before and it's been a while, and so it's gonna be fun to do it again. But it's maybe not the best style to try this on. I'll wait probably till the next one. But I am going to be moving towards this to see how it works out for me. I think that you're going to get. I mean, you'll get the same amount of bitterness, but I think you're going to get a lot more flavor and aroma from the hops if you wait and put them in as a late addition or a dry hop, as opposed to putting them in at 30 minutes or 15 minutes to the end. I think it's going to be better. Anyway, let me know what you're doing, if you're still doing the traditional method, or have you tried just the single boil addition with adding flavor and aroma hops after the boil, and how it goes for you. Anyway, I'll be back in another week for another video, and until then, keep on brewing.